The sea covers over 2/3 of the planet's surface. Yet we know more about space and the universe than we do about our own oceans. Between the states of Connecticut and New York is the Long Island Sound, a naturally protected channel into New York City used for over hundreds of years. The Sound's rich maritime history has played a significant role in the growth of our country. Join us as we explore its unsung residents and its forgotten history. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Captain Dennis with Squalus Marine Divers. Today we're going to do an easy dive. I'm just getting back into my wetsuit as the water's gotten to about 55 degrees. And this is a semi-dry suit. And I'm just happy to be out of my dry suit. Not a big fan myself. But this is a navigational marker on the western side of the Black Rock Harbor Channel. And it's not very deep. We're only going to go down about 13 feet today. Like I said, I'm just trying to take it easy. You can see down there, under the line, scooting by, we're coming across two living fossils. It's a male and female horseshoe crab. If I'm not mistaken, the male attaches to the back of the female and she drags them everywhere she goes. Horseshoe crabs have been around for 450 million years. And they're very harmless. They really don't bother anybody. They just stick their head in the mud and do their thing. But females can lay 60,000 to 120,000 eggs. Here are a couple of starfish just hanging out doing their own thing. But off here to the left, I noticed this guy. I'm not sure what he is, but he's got these arms that he just sticks out in the current, and it picks up little tiny microscopic bits of food, and then he just puts his hand in his mouth and eats them right up. This guy sure is lucky my friend Greg isn't around. This is a whelk. It's a large snail that lives in a shell. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's great tasting in scongeal salad. Now these strange structures, it's kind of like a round piece of seaweed, but it's actually sand. I've seen them all over the place diving, but I've never seen them being made. I don't know what's making it, and I don't know what it's up to, but I'll have to ask my friends over at the Bridgeport Aquaculture School if they can make heads or tails out of this. The channel in and out of Black Rock has been used for hundreds of years. And sometimes you come across goodies just laying in the mud, like this one right here. This bottle was sealed with a cork at one point. And I'm not sure how old it is, but I'll have to do some research when I get back to the surface. I didn't bring my bag, so I get to carry this the whole dive. That's called thinking ahead. Now we come up to a derelict lobster trap, also known as a ghost pot. This could be down here for 6 months, could be down here for a year. But seeing as it's not connected to a buoy, it's been lost. In an effort to help the guys out inside, I'll open the top of the trap and leave it open. This is a good example of how easily you can get silted out during a dive. A lot of divers have problems with silt, but if you just sit tight The current will take the silt away. There's a few spider crabs in here, but no lobsters. That orange rectangle on the top of your screen is what's called an escape hatch. It's designed to rot away if the trap is lost like this, so that whatever's inside can find its way out. Here you can see that it's been cut. This is the back of the trap. This is where the lobster goes to rest. And this is the front. The lobsters come in here, eat their bait, and then walk into the back where they fall down and get confused. If a lobster is in a trap for 3 days, it's been proven that they can find their way out back through the front. So if you're going to fish for lobster, make sure you pull your pots at least once every 3 days. Now we're at the base of the rock pile. These are larger rocks than the earlier dive I did on 2A. And this is the eastern side of the rock pile. It's a little dirtier than the western side because it doesn't have access to open water. If you keep your eyes open, you may just see a couple of blackfish. Oh, there he goes right there. If you didn't see him, just rewind. There's a few more coming up, but you have to keep your eyes peeled. There's another blackfish. A few years ago, I came across this next item that you're going to see in a few short moments. It was laying against the side of the rocks, and I thought it'd be safer if I just laid it down as low as it could go. Here it is. If you guessed acetylene tank, you're right. And there's another blackfish. I doubt he was doing the welding. The blackfish are a little skittish down here because every time I exhale, the bubbles frighten them. And they scurry back into the rocks. As I make my way back up towards the surface, you can really see a lot more color. Color is diffused the deeper you go. The first thing you lose are reds, and then it goes down from there. That's why most of the bottom is a green hue. This is a colony of mussels. Mussels are really making a comeback because somebody's doing something right for the sound. There's a lot more oxygen coming back to the water here. Now this is a very good sign. When the mussels come back, the blackfish come back. The more mussels, the more blackfish. And then the more fun you guys can have fishing. Heck, I just like to get one on camera. Mussels are filter feeders. They just kind of hang there and grab whatever they can as it floats by. What really struck me as unique about this site is the spaces between the rocks and the size of the rocks. Two-way is out in the open and it gets beaten up pretty good by storms. This one's in pretty good and is protected. The spaces between some of these rocks are so big that a diver could actually penetrate. Going in between the rocks and maybe sticking your head in there and looking around. This is a skill that requires proper training. Without those skills, you could get stuck inside the rocks, panic, and get stuck there for a very long time. And there he is on the top of your screen. The elusive tautog, or also known as Blackfish. Well, we've reached the end of our dive. I'd just like to say thanks so much for checking us out. I hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, I'm Captain Dennis.